what did you say to him?
I don't remember. But honestly, after sitting down and talking to him, I realized that I'm now convinced that he's an alien. I really, I mean, there's, what other answer is there?
He is an alien, right? Where's he from?
I don't know. No, he's from South Africa.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So he's an alien. He's an alien to our country.
Yeah.
By the way, if he was an alien, I don't think he'd pick the name Elon, or maybe he would pick the name Elon, because then when we found out ultimately that he is an alien, he'd be like, I named myself Elon. Isn't that close to alien? How stupid are you people?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious.
You think if I was human, I'd be in a cubicle? I'm a billionaire.
You're disgusting.
Thank you.
What if I was an alien?
I would not be shocked.
If you found out that I was an alien, one day you just came home and I unzipped my flesh, and inside, I don't even know what kind of alien I'd be. You know, one of those little tiny ones that's like controlling like cyborgs, or do you think like when they inhabit your skin totally?
Only can inhabit skin totally.
Yeah. So what if I like just, hey babe, unzip, and then there I was.
You know what's terrible? I'd be 100% okay with you being an alien. I'd be pissed that you waited so long to tell me. Just such a girl answer. I'd be like, you didn't trust me enough to tell me? We've been together for 6 years.
Yeah.
You can trust me with your secrets.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing. Then that just means that my menial, you know, insignificant life, like maybe I was supposed to be like, you know, getting with you and marrying with you, but like I have bigger plans or something. I'm like doing things behind the scenes every day. Like I'm not going to work and this is all a huge cover up.
I'd be pissed you weren't sharing your like awesome secret with me.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Totally fine with you being an alien.
Well, if I share, I would have to kill you. Like, what if it was like that?
No.
What if I have a whole family? What if I have a whole alien family and alien children?
Oh, well then I'd kill you. So.
Okay, we've already went off the rails. We have a pure hypotheticals episode, the second one that we've ever made, and this one's going in depth, guys.
Yes.
But let's start the show. You ready?
Ready, Freddy.
Hello and welcome to the Strive Nation podcast, the podcast where we talk about the monotony of daily life. But hey, that's okay because sometimes that's exactly what you need in this crazy world. My name is Cory Estreen. I'm joined with my constant co-host, Taylor Huff. How are you doing tonight, Taylor?
I'm feeling energized.
Well, that's good because I'm freaking tired. And I think it had to do with the sun sapping all of my energy today.
Probably.
Yeah.
Most definitely. You
Yeah.
get sunsick. So.
Yeah. And especially, we talk about the monotony of daily life. But you know what? Today, we are talking about freaking aliens.
Yes.
Aliens.
Aliens.
It's going to be good. Purely hypothetical. What if aliens roamed our Earth and we had no idea?
Are aliens living among
Yeah.
us?
Are they real?
We'll find out.
Well, no, we won't. That's the whole point.
Oh.
But maybe one day. But first, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a key lime LaCroix because it's past my bedtime.
Yeah, she already popped the top. It's okay.
I know. I'm sorry. I can burp for people.
And what's really bad is I don't even have a top to pop for you either because I feel like I need to drink water. I did have 4 beers today.
Wow.
In the sun, and I'm a pasty white boy. So it affects me far too much than it should. And I got a little sapped, so I'm drinking water.
We're so healthy today. We
Yeah.
can cheers.
Cheers. You probably heard that. Mio water, which is fine. And don't
What flavor are you drinking?
I don't freaking know. Don't make me get into the sucralose.
Oh, Lord. Cory thinks sucrose is going to give him cancer and he's going to die.
Yep, it's either that or the aliens. It's either that or the butt probes. One or the other.
Oh, my God.
Okay. But before we start the show, make sure that you go right now and follow on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Strive Nation Pod for all the coolest content on the internet. And for you visual people, head over to YouTube and smash the subscribe button and like every video to show that you care. But first, upvotes and downvotes. Go for it.
My upvote is that I got a freaking tattoo.
We've said freaking a lot in this episode. This is
I'm
like
sorry.
the 5th time.
Okay.
It was all because of me.
Okay. Well, no, I've been saying freaking all day today. It's my word of the day. I don't know why. I've said it probably 15 times. Well, I got a tattoo, you guys.
Yeah, it is cool.
It's very cool. It's on my face. Just kidding. It's on my arm.
You had me surprised. I was like, what? Where? Why haven't
There's no cameras, but Cory immediately inspected my forehead.
Yes.
Yes, I got a tattoo that I've been wanting for like, I don't know, 6-7 years at this point. So it's an antique, like vintage mannequin. And then it has flowers around it from places I've lived / meaningful to me.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's on my arm. Pretty dope. I feel like a badass.
No, it's not even finished yet. You got to go in for shading.
Yeah, I gotta finish the shading.
But that's awesome.
Yes.
I still don't know what I'm gonna do someday if I decide to do something, but we shall see.
I want you to have tattoos, so you should think of some ideas.
Well, one part of it, I was wondering if I should get a tattoo on my face, and the tattoo is of one side of my face peeled off, like the skin peeled back and like folded over, but the skin's still there, not like off, like not a cross section, but actually the skin peeled off. I think that'd be cool.
So cool.
What if I came home? What if I came home and my face was like looked like it was peeled off? That'd be great. For a second, it would be great for a second, and then I'd probably go kill myself. But
Oh my god.
yeah, I would have to live with that, man.
What's your upvote?
My upvote is that I have the weekend off.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't normally get 2 days together off, but yeah.
And a weekend.
It's going to be nice. A Saturday and a Sunday, and unfortunately I still have to go into work on the Sunday. But then it's going to be fine because I got errands to run after, church to go. It'll be a good day.
Church to go.
Yeah, to go to church.
Drive through church. Is
Yeah,
that what we're doing?
church to go. It's a church session drive by.
That sounds bad when you put church and drive by in the same sentence.
A drive by. Yeah.
God, that's funny.
That is funny.
It's not funny, but it's funny.
It's kind of hilarious. It's okay.
Yes.
It's dark.
That's okay.
What is your downvote?
My downvote is because since I got my tattoo, I cannot tan. And if anyone knows me, they know I take pride in my ability to darken my skin to a lovely
Black.
I was going to say olive
Black.
color, but okay.
Black.
Anywho, I like having a tan. It is killing me that I cannot tan my body for the next 4 weeks when it's 90 degrees outside.
I think you'll survive.
Now, I even looked on Amazon last night for a UV sleeve to put on my arm.
Bro.
And then I read a bunch on Reddit and then Google, and they told me that doesn't work either. So, no tanning for me.
That's
Just
okay.
a bummer. I'll be pasty with Cory.
It's either that or the tattoo. Your choice.
Well, I paid a lot of money, so
Oh, okay.
we're going to keep it looking nice.
Good.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice.
What's your downvote?
My downvote is that we're on a new work schedule, which is great. I feel like I talk about how horrible my work is all the time. But I have 3 weeks straight of 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. So basically that means I basically won't see Taylor for 3 weeks.
I thought it was only 2 weeks.
Well, no, it's 3.
Bro. Okay, this is now my downvote too.
Come
on.
Well, one of the weeks is already
completed?
yeah. So it's the rest of this week and next week. That'll be a total of 3 weeks.
Oh.
Because last week I did already a bunch.
Oh, okay. I guess I haven't even noticed you've been absent.
That's good. Well, all right, let's get into this pure hypothetical, the second one we've ever done. I'm excited.
If someone accidentally burnt your house down when trying to do that trend where you put a tinfoil ball in the microwave,
Again, purely hypothetical.
Hypothetical question.
Completely hypothetical.
Purely hypothetical situation.
What if aliens were living amongst us?
Well,
I feel like I should be. What's that? The guy who used to do those documentaries, like, what if aliens were living amongst us? You know, that type of dude.
yeah.
Like, I feel like I should have that voice. Maybe I can clip him in here or something. We got some. Taylor's got a lot of really, really cool articles and random facts. Because obviously you guys know there's countless movies of aliens coming to Earth and killing us all.
Yes.
So, you know the stigma surrounding aliens, the famous M. Night Shyamalan Signs movie. One of my favorites, by the way. But aliens are scary, man.
Yeah.
They're scary.
Did you know that 1/3 of people in the U.S. believe that aliens have visited our planet?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I could totally believe that.
Yeah. So my question is, do you believe aliens have visited our planet?
Yes.
Do you believe they live among us?
I'm like 60% confident.
Oh, interesting.
I would say yes. I would
Okay.
say I'm more likely to say yes than no.
Gotcha. Why? Why do you think this?
I don't know. So it's the same discussion on like whether you believe in ghosts. Literally same exact discussion.
Okay.
Like the arguments are the same.
And
because
they
they're
are-
all anecdotal. And
Yeah.
like people's proof are whether or not you believe them or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because photo manipulation, Photoshop, all that, right?
Yeah.
Video manipulation. So like I believe it's more likely that they are, just because like some of the stuff, the random like instances of proof that like some people would consider proof, like UFOs, there's one spotted one, you know, that kind of stuff. It's more interesting to have magical, like to look at things magically, like, oh, to not be so like shallow minded or like close minded to believe that you're the only one in the universe.
Yeah.
Even though I do believe that if there were, obviously God would have created them.
Yeah.
You know, like I do believe that like it's not one of these things where like, oh, it was never intended and God, you know, didn't know or whatever the deal is. Like I do believe he would have known. And like I don't believe that he would have necessarily maybe told us or something. Like it's not his prerogative, you know. Maybe
Yeah.
it wasn't our responsibility to know, or our, you know, it's kind of like none of our business kind of a deal. I don't even know. I just think like it's the answer is more interesting to say yes than no.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree with you there.
So to just say no is like, okay, end of conversation. And it's quite, you know, okay, how do you explain all the things that happen then? How do you explain the random people that get say they get probed and like apparently they have proof of some of that, right?
Or say they've been abducted.
Right. Like, okay, I mean, yeah, it was probably a weekend bender of too much drinking. But like sometimes you wonder, you know,
Yeah.
where'd all these ideas for movies come around? Like, so that's my take. What's your take?
I definitely believe there's aliens. And I definitely think they're living among us. I think
Wow.
that's my take.
Well, I don't agree.
I will-
Podcast done. Just
Aw,
kidding.
darn. Bye, guys.
No.
See ya never.
So why do you think that?
I think there's too many stories about aliens, and there's too many videos and interviews. There's just too much, I'm not going to say like facts, but there's too many references to aliens for me to not believe that they don't exist. You know?
You just think that it's too much compiling evidence over time?
I think it's too much compiling. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I think there's too much compiling evidence that there is no way that's not something, you know?
That's what I think too. Is like
has
there's
to
got to
be
be something. It's like people don't. I mean, I know people make up a lot of shit, but it's just like, why tag onto this alien idea then? Mm-hmm. You know, and where did the UFO thing? I mean, it's called an unidentified object for a reason, because we haven't identified it.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
you know.
I think that if all of this was just some like joke that people were playing, that we would have answers. Like it wouldn't be a UFO. Like we'd know what it was called, you know?
Yeah.
Or people would have a very quick and easy answer to like videos that come out. They're like, oh, it was this doing this, this, and this.
Right.
When the people who are in the video, the pilots have been flying next to these objects, are like, we have no idea what the fuck that is. Never seen anything move like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just so many references to it that there has to be something. They might not be aliens, but they are something.
Well, and another thing is like, why is the general appearance of the aliens all the same? Generally, everyone's whenever they do sketches, everything we've ever known, they all are very similar in appearance. Why is that? Do you know what I'm saying? Wouldn't they be different? Wouldn't, like, if they're,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know.
I equate that kind of like to our version of like cave paintings.
What do you mean?
Okay, so like cavemen
Yeah.
saw things and then they would like draw them.
Yeah.
And then they were interpreted years later, but everyone drew them the same.
Right.
Didn't matter what their tribes were on completely different opposite planets of the earth. They all drew these images the exact same way, right?
Yeah.
So we are all seeing generally the same thing, and we're all drawing it and witnessing it the same way. And like, I don't know, hundreds of years from now.
Well, yeah.
They're going to look back on all this and be like, oh, these people, like, they were seeing blah, 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 blah. And we just didn't know what they were called. We were calling them aliens.
And you have to realize that some of this over, I mean, how many years is also partially like a telephone game that's happening. Like visually, it's like, oh, this is how it looked like. Okay, I did a sketch. Oh, now I'm drawing a sketch of a sketch. Now I'm drawing a sketch of a sketch of a sketch.
Exactly, yeah.
Or like, it's a lot of hearsay and word of mouth. The only people who really are the first-hand, you have to trust they actually saw something like that, or our pictures, right? And then how much is it really truth, or was it doctored, type of a deal?
Yeah, and especially in the last, like, I don't know, like 4 years, there's just been a lot more alien-related news coming out.
I think, no, but that's all because I think that's less of, it actually has to do with aliens, because all the conspiracies have been happening. And that's because of a heightened political climate and a very polarizing climate with people like, the rich versus the poor, war. Whenever things heighten up like that, conspiracies always go wild.
But this information is being released from the U.S. government.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, like, that's what I'm saying is, as things get crazier, there will be more crazy conspiracies that are unveiled.
Unveiled by the U.S. government.
Not just for aliens, for lots of different things. It doesn't surprise me as people, especially with communication, social media, that everything gets turned up to 10.
But, like, what is the government getting by letting us have this information?
I don't know. Maybe if they slow drip it over time, it's not as crazy when an alien stares us in the face in the street someday. I don't know. You know?
I want to, like, what? Okay, so what do you?
I don't know. Maybe it's like a slow.
You think that's what the government's motive is?
I have no idea. I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter if they thought if the government actually knows that there are aliens here and they're hiding this from us. They probably know whether it's a lethal threat or not. Like, if the aliens can kill us, I mean, it kind of is beside the point to slow drip us information. I'm not sure what the intent is, because, okay, think about Area 51. If that's truly, like,
Well, Area 51 does exist.
Right. No, but what's inside?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if Area 51 and the contents is like what we think it is and aliens and stuff, they've been hiding that for this long. I mean, why, you know what I'm saying? Why would they hide it then?
Yeah.
Could now decide, hey, we're going to slow drip information.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is like, I guess you'll really never know. And they always they're making decisions, but it's weird. What do you think?
I mean, it makes sense that I think we're getting to a time where they realize that they can't contain all this information. So they might as well slowly start feeding it to us. And I think that more people are going to start speaking out about working on these projects.
Well, that's my thing is like, if you have been truly hiding this for this long, you've done a really freaking good job. There's that word again. But you've done a really, really good job at hiding it. When we just had there it is again. We just had a Supreme Court leak.
Yeah.
That gets out.
That's never happened.
Well, right. And that's what I'm saying. Especially with social media, cameras, it's so easy to leak out. I mean, you'd have to believe that they have some sort of Men in Black, memory eraser sensors for these people, because how have they kept it for this long hidden?
Well, okay, no, this is the thing. I think that's been kept hidden this long because we've never been as far advanced in technology as now, as far as being able to, like, with camera phones and social media and all the things. But all of the people that originally worked on all these projects, they are now getting up into their, like, 60s, 70s, 80s, right? So they got to start replacing these people who have been working all these projects with younger people. And I think then you run the risk of things being leaked.
Well, and you wonder, like, what is the stipulation of, like, working on these things? You say something, you die. Like, what?
Well,
Like,
no. So this is a good thing. This is what I wanted to bring up. Have you heard of Bob Lazar?
No.
Oh, lordy. Okay.
You have to teach me, Senpai. Teach me.
I have to teach you. Okay, so Bob Lazar came out in 1989. He's a very household name. He's known as the alien dude, okay? He says in 1989, he didn't reveal his identity right away. He came out to the news and said that he works for the U.S. government and was working on alien technology. He was working on the propulsion units, disassembling UFOs to learn their technology, okay? So he says he did all this anonymously. He said that he didn't believe the U.S. government should be in control of all that technology. He was a scientist, so he said it's really a disservice to the scientific community to not let everyone have access to learn about these. Why did the U.S. government just hoard all of this alien technology, right? And so a bunch of people obviously didn't believe him and then was getting death threats, and he felt his life was so threatened that then he came out with his identity, thinking that would help him from basically for the government to not kill him.
Where was he getting the death threats from? From the government?
He hates being in the public eye, and he says that if he could go back in time, he would never come out with this information because it ruined his life. He doesn't exactly confirm if it was coming from the government or not. However, this man's house has been raided by the FBI twice. And he went to college. He went to Caltech. All of his transcripts, the history of him going to Caltech was completely erased. He said that he went to Caltech. There's no evidence of this man going to Caltech. The university says he never went there. However, there's articles that had came out during the time stating that he was a student. So if you dig deep enough,
So it's a giant cover-up on his part.
And then, well, not on his part,
Well, I mean,
on the government's part.
on the government's part,
Yes,
on him.
Exactly. Because he also worked for this lab, and this lab, he says that he worked for this lab, and this lab says he never worked for him. They'd never heard his name before. However, he's in published scientific, like he's in publications, his name with the lab's name. He's in an old phone book listed at that lab. So, like, the government has gone, I mean, if we're thinking aliens are real.
You'd think they go a little bit, well, I guess if it's published, it's published.
You
It's too
can't,
late. Yeah,
like,
it's
you're
too
going
late.
to confiscate every single phone book that has his name in it.
Right, and now, especially because of social media and the internet,
Yeah.
it's everywhere. It's too late. It's on the cloud, you're done.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. But the government went to very great lengths to cover up the fact that Bob Lazar worked for the U.S. government.
And he's still alive right now.
Yes, he's been on Joe Rogan. It's a very good podcast episode. If you just want to, like, be engrossed with aliens this week, go listen to it. And then there's also a documentary on him called Bob Lazar, Area 51 and Flying Saucers. And the documentary isn't necessarily aliens. It's more about Bob Lazar and his life of coming out, talking about his experience working on the propulsion systems and why the government selected him, his interview process, the labs he worked at. When he was filming this documentary, they were talking about an element that Bob, when he was younger, said that he had taken from not Area 51. It's the next, like, unit by Area 51, essentially. They have this on videotape in the documentary. It's really cool. They're talking about this element. I think it's 112. And the camera guy's like, hey, do you have your cell phone on you? Like, we should turn our cell phones off and, like, we should set them back over here. The next day, Bob Lazar's house got raided.
Wow.
By the FBI. He had a lab. That's what he did after, obviously the U.S. government wasn't paying for him to work for them anymore. So why are they keeping such close tabs on this random dude that just talks and says that?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. Why
some guy wasn't involved. We're going to raid him.
Twice.
Yeah.
That's the second time. And that was, I forget. This documentary was just filmed a couple of years ago.
You know why they raided him twice, right?
Why?
Because they were worried he kept something for himself.
Well, yeah, they thought he had kept that element 112.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like kept it with him because scientists, as they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, see? So that's why I'm like, why would you go to such great lengths to hide this man's education, to hide the fact he worked in a lab, to hide the fact, like, why would you raid this random dude twice?
Yeah, what is if he didn't do anything and he wasn't part of anything? Why did you have to raid him?
Exactly. It's because you know state secrets.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's very interesting. It's a really good documentary. I highly suggest.
And where did you find it?
It's on Amazon.
Amazon documentary titled
Area 51 and Flying Saucers.
Very cool.
It's really cool. It goes into him like getting hypnosis and drawing out the propulsion systems and how the UFOs are completely laid out. It's really cool.
Holy crap.
I know. I've really went into like an alien
Hey
hold
man,
last week.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
It's good that someone knows about aliens. So if I get sucked up into one, you know, I know who's
get
gonna come save me.
Beamed up.
Yeah, beam me up, Scotty.
But yes,
You'll bash through the alien door right as I'm getting butt
will.
probed.
I'll kick you down.
Yeah, you'll save me.
I will.
Save me before I'm de-skinned.
But he was like the first person to come out and talk about aliens and be like, yeah, the U.S. government has
And
alien
when was this?
technology.
This was in the when? Was
89.
Because I thought this Area 51's been around since the 50s, hasn't it?
It has.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So you never know what that 30 to 40 year gap was like. That what happened. You know?
Yeah, you have no idea.
That's insane.
And they had code names. Like the aliens were called kids. The kids. Because they're apparently so small.
Wow.
Yeah.
But even this weird stigma about them being super hyper intelligent and things.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy what we don't know.
That's why Bob Lazar came out. He was like, it's a disservice to the scientific community for the U.S. government to have all this technology and not invite scientists to like really dive deep into it so we can learn and then apply it to like our
lives,
world,
right?
Our lives, yeah.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So that's like the first like big aliens are real. And that's like the main thing that makes me believe in aliens
Is the Bob Lazar story.
is the Bob Lazar story.
Interesting.
I've heard him talk on several podcasts and the documentary. And like he straight up admits that it made his life absolutely miserable. And he wishes he had never talked about it.
Yeah.
And he hates talking about it. Like it took a lot of convincing to have him do this documentary.
Yeah, stuff like that. It's like you either have to believe the guy's completely insane and believe the cover-ups. Like you see through cover-ups and the truth shines through.
Yeah.
And that's what happens with the government. They're completely contradicted by like, oh, why would we raid this guy who doesn't mean anything then?
Exactly.
You know, stuff like that. You can see through that stuff.
Yeah. And
So
he
it's
knew
hard.
so many details.
Right?
too.
It's hard to not believe. Like you either have to see this guy in person and believe he's an entire kook. But then as you see, oh, he's not nuts. He's, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. What else you got?
So obviously during COVID, so 2021, the Pentagon released UFO videos. Do you remember this in the middle of COVID? The Pentagon released all these UFO videos, and we're like, this is weird timing.
I did not.
you remember?
Oh, actually, I
Yeah.
maybe remember some of it.
It was like a news headline for a week, and then everyone was kind of like, why is no one talking about the government releasing UFO videos? You know, but they were videos taken by people in the Navy. And the videos in their entirety were released by the Pentagon, and you could download them.
You can look at them right now.
Yes.
Oh, damn, we got to do that.
Yes. And I listened to an interview with I believe it was with one of the Navy pilots, but he says a lot of things that are similar to Bob Lazar in how these objects move, that they're kind of pushing matter out of the way and they're like falling forward. And that's how they move and how they can stop on a dime and they can drop down like very suddenly. And he said that there's no aircraft in the world that can move like that. And that there's no technology even in the works
So it's a
that
different
can
type
move
of
like
science.
that. It's a completely different type of science.
Interesting.
Yeah. And these videos were taken by people in the Navy.
Right. It's got more government.
Yeah,
you know.
it's more government videos and then released by the government. So that happened in 2021. And then Pentagon and the U.S. government, there was happenings that there's going to be a UFO office established within the U.S. government.
Okay, like an official
Like an
research
official
type of a deal.
UFO office. Yes.
This is so funny because, like, if you believe that Area 51 has been this thing for so long, that means they are kind of slow drippings. Like, it's time.
Exactly.
We can't hold this any longer.
Exactly.
That's what it
Why
looks
do you
like.
release those videos?
That's what it looks like.
Why do you establish a UFO office if aliens aren't fucking real? Why would you waste the time and resources, you know?
Yeah, I do believe that they had kept it because they were worried about, you know how those people, Area 51, like when people try and storm it and everything and they get shot down? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like when people used to try and do that and then they would get killed running up to it?
Yeah.
That gets released what that is, and the government was like doing stuff and shooting people down, and then they just decide to now. How is that gonna look?
Well, the alien stuff isn't even at Area 51
How do you know?
because Bob Lazar said so. It's in an area. It's not at Area 51. It's at a different facility.
Well, then what's in Area 51?
I think honestly, Area 51 is probably just a cover at this point for the actual facility that Bob Lazar talks about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I forgot what the facility was called, but it's not Area 51, but it's located near Area 51.
Interesting.
Yes, and it's the building. I forgot if he said it's covered in mirrors or it's painted, but if you fly over it,
You can't see it.
It looks like it's just part of the mountain.
That's funny.
And when you worked at that facility, you had to park and you got bussed into work on buses that had blacked out windows.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so
See?
funny.
It all it all clicks together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Our childhood fantasy just being fulfilled right now.
It could be.
All this
I'm
crazy
okay with
stuff.
either one because I think it's really funny.
Yeah. Okay, continue. Continue.
Okay. Yeah. So U.S. government has a UFO office.
Okay.
Real freaking suspicious.
Yep.
And then, so this is what kind of gave us the idea to talk about this, is because last week, NASA said they wanted to develop a communication streak with aliens. First of all, the exact words were communication streak. Communication streak means like consecutive communication, right?
Right.
So does that mean we've already established some communication, but we
Right.
haven't established a communication streak?
Right.
That's the thing I'm more fascinated with. Is
Well,
like,
why would they say we want to establish communication in general? Just say we want to establish communication. That's more ambiguous versus communication streak.
Streak.
We already have. We
I
just
know.
need more.
the streak like really got to me. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
Yeah, so that part I thought was weird. But the weird thing is that we're sending human nude photos into space to lure aliens to communicate with us.
What, for butt probes? I knew it. It's like, here, look at how good the butts look.
This
They're-
is all you wanted to talk about was butt probing.
Well,
huh?
if it's about aliens, yes, butt probing, anal probing is a big deal with aliens.
I
or,
hear.
Or so I think. So, but yes, so nude photos.
Yeah, so they're sending NASA as of last
Why
week.
nude photos? It's like, oh, this person does, brown-haired John isn't good enough with clothes on. He needs
I'm
to
not
be nude.
sure. They were
you know?
also sending some like other information out into the universe too, out into space. But human nude photos was like
That's really odd.
I know.
That's really weird, especially if they're super high intelligence. Like,
They already
maybe,
know what we look like naked. They're already here.
Well, yeah, if they're here, but not just that. It's like, oh, great. Like, oh, maybe it's like, why are this species wearing these objects on them? Why don't they just walk around naked?
I feel like aliens already
You know,
here.
what
though.
is- what
We've
is
already
this-
analyzed that
What is
part
this
of us.
cloth that is on us? Yeah, well, I don't know. It's
You
weird.
know?
It is kind of weird. It's like, here, look, here, we're going to send these photos up into space. You can look at them for your own purposes.
Yeah.
But if they wanted to, wouldn't it just be better just to abduct us and probe us?
Here's what I think. I think there's some Gen Zer working at NASA, and he was like, bro, just send nudes. Then they'll definitely respond.
Yeah, right.
That's what's my brain.
Yeah, just a whole bunch of pictures. It's not even nudes of different people. It's just 1,000 pictures of Cory Estreen completely naked in space.
Oh, well, you kind of look like an alien, so
Well, thank you.
you're welcome.
So, what does this mean if it's true? The implications, this stuff, the purely hypothetical here. If it is true,
That's
what
bad.
does it mean for like religion?
Well, that either means that religion doesn't exist, or it means that God created aliens.
Yes.
I think God created aliens.
Or the aliens are the gods who made the Bible. I'm just kidding.
Nah.
You're right. I think realistically it'd be God created the aliens too.
I want to believe that God created them first and was like, ooh, whoopsie daisy. Like,
I don't think it would be a whoopsie-daisy.
no, I was trying to be funny.
Oh.
Like, he messed up and created these, like,
Oh.
super intelligent beings, and he's like, oh, no.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm gonna make humans instead. Dumber.
Version 2.
Easier to control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what would he call them? Because we call them aliens because aliens is a term for unidentified,
Hey,
right?
Demi Lovato said aliens is a really derogatory term towards aliens, and you're not supposed to call them that.
Oh, what are we supposed to call them?
I forgot what she called them.
Okay,
It was something stupid. But she did say that.
Yeah, well, she's not the brightest person. So,
Or I
yeah.
guess they isn't the brightest person.
What?
She...
Oh, the pronouns, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Her
don't...
pronouns are they...
I don't follow that.
They, them, now.
So, yeah, she's just gonna have to hate me.
Anywho.
Yeah, so religion, very interesting. So do you think if aliens, you'd have a lot more like atheists like be like, holy crap, have I been sold a bunch of woo-ha for the last how many years? Like what
atheists? Or do you mean
just just people who follow any religion?
I think people who follow religion would have a really hard time grasping that.
Like why wouldn't they have been told type of a deal?
I think they would really question if God exists.
Because, well, why though? Because they haven't been told, or because, like, why do you think they would question?
I don't know. Because I think they would think, oh, there's bigger things out there. Space is never ending. Because when we generally talk about God, we talk about him creating, like, Earth and humans, right?
Right.
Like, that's all we know.
Right.
So I think a lot of people will kind of jump to the conclusion of God doesn't exist because there's aliens and there's other things out there that, like, we've never been told about and can't and have not been explained through God and religion.
Yeah. No, that's what people always use an excuse as things that can't be explained, and things that aren't explained to them by the Bible.
Yeah.
Or their book, Then they go, oh, that means it hasn't explained to me. I guess it doesn't exist, type of a deal.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's really interesting. I think people would lose faith, especially lose faith out of fear.
That's what I think too.
Because people are always scared of what they don't know. So they place their faith in higher beings to take care of the things they don't know.
Exactly.
And when something just pops up, why didn't you let me know? Like, why aren't you,
Yeah, it's more of like a God, why didn't you tell us about these people, about these things?
And
how did they fit in with our relationship with you?
Well, and especially with God, it's like you don't need to know everything. You're placing your faith in God so that he will handle everything, right?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what's out there. There could be how many aliens out there. It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Because the whole point is to have faith.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's interesting. What do you think it means for science?
I follow the whole Bob Lazar thing, as in it's all this technology that we'd have access to, but also it's all this technology that the entire planet would have access to. And, like, the thought of Russia and China and, like, Iran having access to this alien technology really freaks me out.
It doesn't freak me out. Well, what's the worst that could happen?
The
worst that could happen is something that already can happen right now.
I guess it's true.
What are you going to do? You want to nuke the whole world?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. So regardless, we're to the point where any nuclear war will result in the death of humanity, as it is. So if they get what's the worst that could happen, the same thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, what if this alien technology can wipe out a whole country without having, there's no radioactivity or anything like that to affect the rest of the world?
Okay, well then you think one country is going to be able to do that and the others aren't?
Well, no, I guess it's the same thing where everyone has nukes.
Right, and
so
then here's the thing: if they vaporize you instantly, you're not going to know about it anyways.
No, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? You get
Fair
to a
point.
Look, what do they call that in the Cuban Missile Crisis, right? What do they call that? The war, the arms war, arms race?
Yeah.
The arms race gets to a point where everyone's just going to blow each other up, and that's going to be it.
Okay. You prove a very valid point.
So like you get to a point where the only thing that matters is your belief, like kind of in the religion belief, that's the thing that matters most.
Yeah.
Because at the end of it, nothing else is going to matter. Mm-hmm. If you're just going to get wiped clean, then that's it, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I don't know. I think the science part of it's really weird. It would be interesting, like especially with the UFO stuff you said, is like how far are we behind? And the really
Yeah.
interesting thing is like we've only had like even Web 2, internet, electricity, like what, a couple hundred years for most of our technology. Like we've had
Wait,
more.
did you just say we've had Web 2 for a couple
Well, Web
hundred
2 for like
years?
20 years, 30 years. But no, I mean all of our technology. So like the
Oh, yeah.
technological ramp up for us, like we've had, 99% of our technology invented in the last 300 years, right?
Yeah.
Like, because it's exponential growth. Our inventions are exponentially growing, right? Before that, we've make 2 sticks with a bow and we shoot an arrow, and now we're like,
Yeah.
I can, with a remote controller, nuke a whole country.
Yeah.
It's that type of a deal. I don't know. It's really interesting. I would be interested to see like the things that we talk about or dream about, or like I can read your mind, or I can fly, or all of these things that we think about and see in movies like actually come true
Like,
because of advancements.
Literally living on Mars.
Or anything like that, and you don't know, like maybe they have their own planet or whatever. But the big thing, I think, realistically, instead of blowing up each other, I think the reality of it is humans are scared, and when humans are collectively scared, they do a lot of rash things. But I think they would be more likely to band together, especially if we're fighting an
Because it would
entity.
be humankind.
Everyone's
versus
dead, or
aliens.
it's either you bind together and fight,
Yeah.
or where everyone's dead. Because like it depends. The thing also is like the whole trope of like they're here and they're studying us because they need our planet for something, and they're gonna kill us eventually.
Yeah.
Like, would they have done it already? You don't know, right? So, and then what that means for other conspiracies too.
I know. Like, is Sasquatch real then?
Well, just all of this stuff,
All of them.
It's like, okay, this conspiracy, huge conspiracy, right?
Yeah.
It's real. And then, but this is like one of the main ones that people always talk about. So yeah, it's like, is Sasquatch freaking real?
Yeah.
What about the freaking Loch Ness Monster?
Yeah, those don't seem so unreasonable now.
Well, none of it seems reasonable because it's the same concept. It's the same concept of like the one I was talking about, aliens or the ghosts. Like,
yeah.
Everyone's got their anecdotal proof, and it's whether you believe it or not believe it, and how legitimate the evidence is based on what you see.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting.
That's so funny. I have no problem being like, yeah, aliens are real, but you bring up Sasquatch and the Loch Ness Monster, and I'm like, definitely not.
No, I mean, you don't know.
It's
like
just
how
my pick of conspiracy that I'm
Yeah,
here
right.
for.
Yeah, it's so like you can't. Some people always come up with reasons. It's like when people used to invent gods, right?
Yeah.
They're coming up with these reasons why something happened, right? They're coming up with inventive ways of why something happened.
Yeah. And then they have sacrifices and
Yeah.
ceremonies to try and appease.
It's the same thing. It's like when you think you see a ghost, did you see a ghost, or did you see the light shutter at a random angle?
Yeah.
Or was it deja vu? Was it your mind playing tricks on you with something? I mean, it's the same thing with aliens, Did you actually see that UFO? Or was it something?
It was a light
right?
or whatever.
Yeah, it's interesting. Was it a bat? I don't know. A really large. Was it a really large vampire bat that was looking for blood?
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, same thing with politics. It's like we talk about. I know I was talking about creeps and the lizard people, but
Yeah.
like in unzipping yourself. But like, what if they are people in disguise, like
Yeah.
humans? What if they took over humans' bodies? Donald Trump isn't Donald Trump. Now, here's the thing: is I think Donald Trump's. There's no one with that kind of personality that's an alien. First of all,
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, what if they're those people? Some of these people are aliens that live amongst us, like that we see as people.
Yeah, I would want to know if aliens have been like high heads of power in our like throughout our time, and that's how we've progressed forward. Like Genghis Khan,
Yeah.
or like Hitler. Like, what if Hitler was an alien? And there was reasoning behind, like, that's why the Holocaust and all of that happened.
I don't think. I think. I don't know if it'd be like that.
Because if you don't have the world wars, we never developed the hydrogen bomb. Through tragedy is where humans have evolved technologically.
Right.
So if we don't have these tragedies, we possibly have never evolved, would never have evolved like this.
I don't
so
know
was
if that's
Hitler
true.
an alien?
I don't know if it was through that, because I think people are just like innovative in general. I think we would have gotten there eventually, even without wars.
Eventually, but how much longer would it have taken us, because there wouldn't have been this like rush, this need to have it.
Right, I have no
like,
idea.
What's that movie that was really terrible that we hated? That was a Marvel movie with all the superheroes, with Angelina Jolie, and they all had different powers.
Oh, I kind of like that movie. Talking about the Eternals?
Eternals.
Yeah.
Okay, so Eternals. Remember how they had to help humans push forward in technology, but they couldn't do it too fast, but they had to do it enough so they would get to like the right point of...
Right? Yeah.
That's what I imagine aliens doing to us. They're trying to push us forward enough in technology to be able to study us and get what they need out of us. But they can't push us forward too much, and they can't have us take too long. So they spur events to help push us forward.
I mean, what's the motive? Like, what's the reasoning though? Like, what's the motive? What did they get out of it?
To watch how we think and how we evolve.
I mean, that's a really long time, I guess.
But we studied, us as humans, we studied how we evolved over thousands of years. Like,
because we're just trying to survive, but yes.
Yeah. And we've studied how everything has evolved.
Yeah.
Why would they not study
just,
our full evolution?
Right. I guess so.
You know?
Yeah.
Especially if they're like harvesting our brains or something.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. All right. So who do you think is an alien?
Elon, for sure.
Really?
I think Elon is the alien that is trying to push us forward, technologically speaking.
I don't know. He's the best alien I've ever seen then.
No, I'm cool with it. I think he's a dope alien.
I think Kanye West is an alien.
Really? Why?
I don't know.
Just because he's crazy?
Yes.
I think aliens are too smart.
No, I to be honest with you, I think most of the aliens, they would not take spotlighted roles. I think they would be the character actors.
I agree with you. I think they
have to be.
Scientists. I think they'd be planted within every field.
I think they would be like the advisors, like people to advise.
Yeah.
You know, like advise the president, advise...
They're taking a back seat to gently push us in the direction they want us to.
Wow, you're for real on this, aren't you?
I'm just trying to like really go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, this...
And then I think that was the purpose of Elon, and then he just accidentally became famous.
Here's the thing.
He's like the only famous alien.
If Elon Musk is an alien, I'm going to be very upset.
Because
he's supposed to be one of the most awesome human beings. If he's taken away, everything I trust about humanity goes down the toilet right now.
Oh, well.
He's like the beacon of free speech. Like, he can't be an alien. He has to be a human.
I think he is.
I don't think he can't be. I won't believe it.
Oh, and Albert Einstein. I think he was too.
Okay.
Very similar to Elon. Obnoxiously, incredibly intelligent. Both have Asperger's. Maybe that's just a trait of aliens. When they are portrayed as humans, they have Asperger's.
No, AOC. She's an alien. She has to be.
That is someone's alien daughter that is just playing a very cruel trick on us.
Right. Well, what did you guys think about this pure hypothetical? You did some good work here, babe.
Are you concerned that I got a little too into this?
No, it was excellent. It was absolutely excellent.
Guys,
it was a perfect pure hypotheticals
If you want to talk more about aliens, hit me up on Instagram.
Right. Let us know on
Yes.
Facebook and Instagram what you thought about Pure Hypotheticals, the Alien Edition.
Woo.
Tell us if you believe in aliens.
Yeah.
I want to know. And also, who do you think's an alien?
Yes.
And also, if you've ever seen a UFO or been butt probed, I'd like to know that as well. So make sure you comment.
As a reminder, we have bi-weekly show uploads. Next show is going to be on Wednesday, May 25th. Episode 10 is going to be our May monthly scoop, so don't forget it, because there's a lot of things that have happened already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Strive Nation podcast with your hosts, Cory, Estreen, and Taylor Huff.
Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Strive Nation Pod on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Join us for our next episode in 2 weeks. And remember, when the world is upside down, Strive Nation is right side up for you guys. Have a good one.